This video will cover the basics of the ActiveDEMAND email editor. There's lots of reasons you'll be building emails in ActiveDEMAND, whether it's newsletters or campaigns or in autoresponders or what have you. There's lots of reasons for sending emails via ActiveDEMAND, and you'll find after today's video that it is very easy to build a high-impact, stylish email campaign using ActiveDEMAND. In today's video, we'll cover the email editor basics, we'll cover editing content blocks, we'll cover adding images, buttons, call to action buttons in your email, as well as doing some of the style elements to the email, etc. The first step in creating an email is clearly choosing an email template. And ActiveDEMAND has many templates to choose from, and you can build your own templates as well inside ActiveDEMAND. Once you've chosen a template, this template I've chosen is a very stylish business-looking template. And once you've chosen a template, you'll be brought up with the email editor. This editor is the same editor you'll see in the page builder. It's very similar, as well as in the report builder. The elements of the builder are the same. Some obvious differences will be, of course, this is geared towards building an email. So walking around the screen, at the top you see the test button. This allows you to send an email to yourself once you've configured the email to see what it looks like inside your email client. Preview email, this brings up a responsive view of the email. All emails in ActiveDEMAND, just like landing pages, are constructed using responsive design. And this button will allow you to add this email into your library as a template. Moving down, these are the elements inside the email. For example, the subject line. You can use ActiveDEMAND's dynamic fields in any of these elements, just like you see here. The pre-header text, this is actually very important to fill out. This is the text that will show up in the inbox listing of emails. So this is not the preview, but if you just see the line of emails inside your inbox, this text here is the text that will be displayed. If you do not fill this out, typically the email clients will try to read through the email and bring some text into this the list preview of the email. And the default name, default address, these types of things are all configurable, and again using dynamic fields. There's another video that covers dynamic fields in ActiveDEMAND, but yes, most cases you can use dynamic fields throughout the product. And once you've filled out these elements, you can collapse this view by pressing this button up in the top right corner here to give you full access to the email. Over on the left, there is previews and properties rather. The properties tab, this allows you to name your email, give a preview image if you're saving it as a template. Targets, this is really if you're saving the email in your library, what is the intended target of the template? For example, is it going to be in a sales workflow, a prospect email action, or a marketing email action? And then moving down, these are the base properties of the email. This is your brand selector, and there's another video that talks about brands. But if you again, once you pick the brand, the elements that are linked to the brand will change in the style of the email. Moving down, you have choices between full width or boxed email capabilities, the background colors, the body color, etc. So all of the style elements are inside this slider here. An email is built in ActiveDEMAND, similar, like I said, to landing pages. The main elements of the editor, it's constructed by rows, columns inside the row, and content blocks inside the columns. So typically what you do is you'll choose a layout row, drag it onto the editor, and then add content blocks to that row. But as you see with this email template I have, it already has several styled rows already done. The next piece to look at here is the content templates, and again, once we have our rows and column layout designed, we can drag different types of content elements onto the columns. And I'll just give you a quick example of a 2-column row. So I have a 2-column row. It starts off with some default text, and once the row is created, these little spinners will go away and be replaced by edit blocks. So you see here there is actually 2 columns, 2 content block columns, and in here there is some text content blocks already displayed inside the columns. And you can put other content blocks in there as well. For example, if I wanted to put an image, I could drag an image onto the content block. Or if I wanted to drop a call to action button, I can again drag the call to action button onto the column. So again, it's rows, and the rows can be moved and reordered and duplicated by pressing this hamburger button. So the hamburger button allows you to delete the row or save the row. If you've done if you want to reuse some of the content here in other emails, you can as well archive it, and the archived row will show up in here for reuse. So we have our layout blocks, we have columns, and the content blocks. To edit a content block, you literally click in the content block, and the editor, it's a free-form editor that you can style if you want to access the HTML. Click the source code button, and you will have access to the HTML code inside the editor. If you want to edit an image, click on the image. Out comes a slider that allows you to pick an image from the library, upload an image, or what have you. Same thing goes for buttons. Click on the button, the link shows up, the text shows up, etc. So, and you can drag content blocks around across columns, there's this concept of an advanced edit, which I will get to in just a minute. So if you look at the content block, and this is the same for all content blocks, or most content blocks, there's an advanced edit button. There's a archive button, and this will store this content block into your content block library for reuse. And there's a style button, and the style button allows you to style this individual content block, and finally a delete button. So I'm going to talk a little bit about styles now, and I'll just delete this. Actually, I'll leave it here. There's so again, we have a row, we have columns, and we have a content blocks inside the columns. From a style perspective, you can style the row by clicking on the hamburger button and clicking the row styles, and every row has its own styles. So again, you'll have sliders, background images, borders, spacing, this type of shadows, this type of stuff is available via the style button here. And to style a column, again, basically what you do is you click the hamburger button, select the column that you're going to style, and again, the style slider pops out. You can edit the styles on the individual columns. And the same goes as well for the content blocks. So again, you can put borders, you can put shadows, that type of background images, that type of stuff. So I'm going to talk about styles, and you see here that this row has a background image, and I'll just take a look here. It's the row styles will show you the background image. So click on the styles, you see the coloring, and this is a boxed layout. So the box layout gets the green color in the content block area, and there is a transparent white map background image that shows up for that row, and again, it's constrained within this content block because it is a boxed layout. It's a case that the button here is, again, there's a single column row, so there was a button that was dragged on, and if you look at the styling of the button, you will see that the button was pushed over to the left, and the button position, it was pushed over to the left. Again, there's no borders. It was really, the border styles were zero radius, this type of stuff, with a very 1 pixel border around the button. Again, you have full access to edit any of the styles within the buttons, as well as content blocks, etc. So, and to get at the link of the button, again, just click the button and press the link button, and you'll be able to put in a URL for linking the, putting a link for the call to action button. And I want to talk a little bit about importing posts. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about importing posts into your email. So quite often you're sending out a newsletter. You want people to want to highlight that you have made a new post on your blog. Another, this is very good if you're trying to highlight a specific landing page with a specific initiative, whether it's a webinar or what have you. So there's some advanced edit buttons that allow you to quickly, it's sort of a shortcut to get content from the web into your email. So let's say I have this blog post here that I'm trying to highlight in my newsletter. So I have a content block, and it doesn't matter if it's a content block here or a content block in a single row. Literally, I press the advanced edit button. The advanced edit button, and it depends on the specific type of content block. With a text content block, this is what the advanced edit looks like. And I can take the URL from my blog post, post it here, click the download button, and what that does is goes and scrapes the content off of the web page, grabs the images from the blog post, and it's a case that I can and drops it into the post, and I can just resize the image here. And as you see, what it's done is it has actually put a link to the post here, put a link to the post here. And quite often what I want to do is put in here is a read more button. So again, what it does is it'll put the link to the post here in the title as well as the image, and now there's a button at the bottom, and I can just go save and back to the email, and voila, I have my blog post inserted into my newsletter. And once it's here as well, I can customize the content. Again, resize the image, edit the image by pressing the edit image button, or pop this out to add more images, etc. So very quick and easy to get blog posts into your emails. Something else to note is something you typically be using a lot of is the dynamic fields. And again, there's another video talking about this, but you can access your dynamic fields by just pressing the little tag button here, and you'll see there's a long list of dynamic fields, contact names, etc. And these dynamic fields are at runtime are replaced inside the text of your email. So now, if you look up at the top, you'll see as well that there is a two tabs here. There's an HTML tab and there's a text tab. The HTML, once you're finished building out your email and you're applying the specific images and the content, etc., it's important to adjust the text version of the email. Every email that is sent in ActiveDEMAND, it sends both a HTML version of the email and an embedded text version. And the embedded text version is for those email clients that are set to block HTML and just read text. So it's important to review what is in your text email. And when you're finished that, then you can save your email and get ready to send it. And again, you can test the email to see what it looks like inside your email client. That concludes this video. Hopefully you've seen that it is very easy to build stylish emails within ActiveDEMAND, and editing is extremely simple.